The 21st century completely changed zombie movies. What used to be slow, low-budget horror became one of the biggest genres on the planet. Here are the 10 absolute must-watch zombie movies of the 21st century. Number 12, Cargo.
We're here. So when things get back to normal, it's not gonna happen, is it?
I don't think normal's on the horizon.
Martin Freeman plays a father bitten in the Australian outback. He has exactly 48 hours to find someone willing to raise his infant daughter before he turns. The entire film is a dying man carrying a baby through dead landscape, racing a clock he can't stop. It started as a 7-minute short film that went viral with over 14 million YouTube views before Netflix funded the full feature. The Gurindji and Arrernte indigenous communities collaborated directly on the script, shaping how the film portrays survival knowledge.
You can't lose hope.
Honey girl, you need to be worried about is your own.
Number 11, I Am Legend. Will Smith wanders an empty New York City as the last man alive, talking to mannequins and hunting deer through Times Square. The first hour is genuinely brilliant and one of the best portrayals of isolation ever filmed. Smith spent months training with a Navy SEAL to prepare for the role. It grossed $585 million worldwide on a $150 million budget, making it the highest-grossing zombie-adjacent film at the time. The ending was completely changed after test audiences rejected the original, where Neville discovers the infected are still intelligent.
Broadcasting on all AM frequencies. If you are out there, if anyone is out there, please.
Number 10, Zombieland.
What do you think? Zombie kill of the week?
Close, but no cigar. Zombie kill of the week went to Miss Cynthia Kabaka.
A nervous college kid with a long list of survival rules teams up with a shotgun-carrying maniac, 2 con artist sisters, and together they drive across a zombie-filled America trying to find the last safe place on Earth. It's one of the most fun zombie films ever made, and the Bill Murray cameo was originally written for Patrick Swayze, but had to be changed after Swayze passed away during production. It sits at 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, 7.5 on IMDb, and made $102 million worldwide on a $23 million budget. It was so popular it became the highest-grossing zombie film in America until World War Z came along 4 years later. Number
Zombieland.
9, Wreck. Spanish TV reporter follows firefighters into a Barcelona apartment building on what seems like a normal call. Then the government seals the building shut, and people inside start turning violent. The whole film was shot in order from start to finish, so the fear you see building on screen is genuine because the cast experienced it that way. It holds a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and is regularly ranked as the greatest found footage horror film ever made. It was so well regarded that Hollywood immediately remade it as Quarantine, but fans still say the Spanish original is far superior. Number 8, Dawn of the Dead. The opening 10 minutes are some of the most intense in any horror film ever, and it doesn't let up. This was Zack Snyder's very first film, and the script was written by James Gunn, who later directed Guardians of the Galaxy. Critics called it one of the rare remakes that actually earns the right.
It's only my time.
It's coming. They'll find a way in.
Number 7, One Cut of the Dead. A film crew shooting a cheap zombie movie in an old building gets attacked by real zombies. That's what you think for the first 37 minutes, which is all done in one single camera take with no cuts. Then the film completely flips and becomes something nobody sees coming. It was made for just $25,000 with unknown actors and earned over $30 million worldwide. It currently holds a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, making it the highest rated zombie film on the entire platform. Audiences and critics agree it's one of the most creative films ever made in any genre. If you haven't seen it, go in completely blind. Number 6. The Sadness.
The dead will walk the earth and tear the flesh from the living.
Is anyone out there?
A virus changes overnight in Taiwan and turns normal people into violent killers who know exactly what they're doing. They're not brainless, they enjoy the violence. The infected chase people through trains, hospitals, and streets with weapons. The director Rob Jabaz is actually Canadian, but made the entire film in Taiwan with a local cast. It was banned or heavily cut in several countries because of how extreme it is. Despite the controversy, it holds a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, and horror fans call it the most intense zombie film released this decade.
What you mean you ain't seen no bite marks? That's the only way to infect disease. They bite you. Goes down your bloodstream, make you do crazy things. I'm in the dark!
Number 5. Shaun of the Dead.
Clear.
No.
Let's try, shall we? Nice. Good vocal work. One.
A man stuck in a dead-end job and a failing relationship has to lead his mates to safety during a zombie outbreak in London. His grand plan? Get to the pub and wait for it all to blow over. It basically invented the zombie comedy as a real genre. The original title was Tea Time of the Dead, and the whole script took Simon Pegg and Edgar Wright just 2 weeks to write. It sits at 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Channel 4 ranked it the 3rd greatest comedy film of all time behind only Monty Python and Airplane. George Romero himself called it one of the best zombie films ever made.
2 seconds.
Hey, Neil. Yeah, man, I can't really talk now.
Shaun.
Oh.
We're telling to get.
Number 4. World War Z.
Don't pretend.
It's not coming back. I'm coming back.
A former United Nations investigator, played by Brad Pitt, travels the world trying to find the source of a zombie pandemic wiping out entire countries in days. The scene where zombies pile on top of each other in towers to climb over the walls of Jerusalem is one of the most jaw-dropping zombie moments ever filmed. The entire third act was completely rewritten and reshot at a cost of over $20 million after test audiences hated the original Moscow ending. Despite the troubled production, it made $540 million worldwide, making it the highest grossing zombie film in history. That record still stands today and proved zombie movies could compete with any Hollywood blockbuster. Number 3. 28 Years Later.
We've experienced and survived. And yet greater changes.
Set over 2 decades after the original outbreak, a young man raised on an isolated island has to cross zombie-infested Britain to get medical help for his sick mother. Danny Boyle came back to direct and shot the whole film on an iPhone 15 Pro Max to capture that same raw feeling from the original. It made over $150 million worldwide in its opening weeks and was praised by critics as a worthy return to the franchise. The film was kept almost completely secret during production, with fake working titles to prevent leaks. Audiences called it one of the best horror sequels in years, and it currently sits at over 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The whole world will cease to make sense. In incredible changes.
Number 2, Train to Busan.
지금 무슨 일이 벌어지고 있는지 몰라? 저는 더 이상 부산으로 운행할 수가 없게 됐습니다.
A workaholic dad and his young daughter board a train from Seoul to Busan. Then a zombie outbreak hits and the passengers are trapped inside with nowhere to run. Every carriage they move through gets worse. It made over $98 million on just a $9 million budget and holds a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's widely considered the greatest zombie film of the 2000s and the film that put South Korean horror on the global map. Director Yeon Sang-ho originally tested the concept with an animated prequel called Seoul Station first. Audiences around the world fell in love with it, and it's now one of the most recommended zombie films on the internet.
아직까지 남의 안에 열려 있다니까. 우리 이것들 갈고 부산으로 갑시다 바로. 지금 몇 칸?
Number 1, 28 Days Later.
One, you never go anywhere alone unless you got no choice.
Oh.
Two, you only travel during daylight unless you got no choice.
This really is a bad idea. You know why?
A man wakes up from a coma in a completely empty London. No people, no noise, nothing. He walks past Big Ben and across Westminster Bridge without seeing a single person, and those scenes were not CGI. The crew filmed at dawn and asked real pedestrians to stop for a few seconds while they grabbed the shot on a cheap $4,000 camera. It holds 87% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Empire magazine ranked it one of the 500 greatest films ever made in any genre. It's credited with creating the fast zombie and single-handedly reviving the entire zombie genre for the 21st century. Without this film, most of the movies on this list would not exist. That's why it's number 1.
It's obviously a bad idea.
We have to leave now. More will be coming. They always do.